Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 374 based on novel. So let's start. This was a roar that contained the might of a Mosquito King. Under this pressure, all mosquito beasts must obey and become part of this Mosquito King's herd. Wang Lin's mosquito beast's actions had obtained the recognition of the Purple Mosquito King, so it personally appeared to accept it as a member of its herd. This was also Wang Lin's goal. As the Mosquito King let out its roar, Wang Lin's mosquito beast also let out a roar, acting as if it was surrendering. Wang Lin controlled the Mosquito King to slowly fly forward, closing in on the Purple Mosquito King. The moment the Purple Mosquito King appeared, Wang Lin clearly felt the aura of mid-stage Nirvana shatter a cultivator from it, so this Mosquito King wasn't very strong. This mountain was the home of its herd. It was clear that it would spend most of its time deep inside the mountain, struggling with metamorphosis, and would not casually come out. Although Wang Lin's mosquito beast was weaker, it had transformed into a golden mosquito beast, so it was difficult for this Purple Mosquito King to notice that Wang Lin's mosquito was hiding its aura. Wang Lin's mosquito beast's movement didn't catch the attention of the surrounding mosquito beasts. Even the two white mosquitoes didn't notice and only coldly stared at Wang Lin's Mosquito King. Wang Lin's mosquito beast used 3 breaths of time to close this short distance. At this moment, Wang Lin's mosquito beast was less than 100 feet away from the Purple Mosquito King. The Purple Mosquito King's eyes revealed a hint of doubt, and it let out another low roar. Wang Lin's mosquito beast also roared in response, but then it suddenly sped up and crossed this 100 feet distance. At this instant, all the surrounding mosquito beasts began to roar fiercely. The 2 white mosquito beasts released ferocious gazes and were about to charge out. Even the Purple Mosquito King's aura immediately became cold. However, just at this moment, the Star of Law with Wang Lin's origin soul inside rotated rapidly and flew out. It released a harsh glow and transformed into Wang Lin's origin soul. His appearance immediately caused an uproar from the surrounding mosquito beasts. They all rushed over, hissing like crazy. However, none of this distracted Wang Lin at all. Although this trip was dangerous, Wang Lin had calculated that he had an almost 80% success rate. Everything could be described by fast. Fast! The moment Wang Lin's origin soul took form, he stepped forward and waved his right hand. Large amounts of origin energy gathered and swept out as a gust of wind. The 2 white mosquito beasts beside the Purple Mosquito King were hit by the wind and pushed away. The moment the 2 white mosquito beasts were knocked away, Wang Lin didn't stop and arrived before the retreating Purple Mosquito King. His eyes lit up as he lifted his left hand and thrust his left palm at the void. Origin energy began to gather like crazy, and at the same time, Wang Lin's right hand quickly pointed to the back of his left hand. Once his finger landed, the heavens and earth trembled and endless origin energy gathered on the finger like crazy. The mark of the Star of Law flashed on the back of Wang Lin's left hand. It moved to his index finger and began to flash. The Purple Mosquito King immediately felt a life and death crisis it had never felt before in its life. This feeling was very strong, making it roar violently as it retreated like crazy. Wang Lin didn't stop. His right hand drew an arc and pointed out once more. When the second finger landed, it was as if countless bolts of thunder had exploded in the sky. It felt like even the earth itself was trembling. Another Star of Law appeared on the back of his left hand. It moved to his middle finger and flashed violently. As he moved forward, Wang Lin's right hand moved again and his finger landed once more. This time the earth seemed to crack and a thunderous rumble echoed across the heavens and earth. A large vortex appeared in the sky and gathered large amounts of origin energy that seemed to enter the back of his left hand with a movement of his right hand. A third Star of Law appeared and stopped on the ring finger of the left hand. All of this happened in an instant. Wang Lin took 3 steps in the sky, and the Purple Mosquito King retreated hundreds of feet. Its body flashed purple, and it was flying downwards. The surrounding mosquito beasts were rushing over like crazy in an attempt to stop this from happening. They seemed to want to tear Wang Lin into pieces. Even farther away, as the mosquitoes roared, the sky seemed to distort as even more mosquitoes rushed over. Wang Lin's expression was cold as he took a fourth step. His right hand reached at the sky, causing the sky to rumble violently. The vortex that appeared seemed to have been grabbed by Wang Lin and then rapidly shrank. With that, Wang Lin gathered the power of the fourth finger and the power entered the back of his left hand. This fourth star of law formed. At this moment, four of Wang Lin's fingers contained the power of law. His hand seemed to have become the hand of law. The moment the fourth finger landed, a handprint landed on the purple Mosquito King, creating a thunderous rumble. Although all of this sounds slow, it all happened in 3 breaths. The handprint landed on the purple Mosquito King. At this moment, even the wind in the wind celestial realm paused for a moment. A thunderous rumble echoed as popping sounds echoed inside the purple Mosquito King's body. Even large amounts of cracks appeared on its huge mouth. A clear handprint appeared between its eyebrows, causing its body to collapse at a rapid pace. A lot of blood gushed out from the handprint, making the purple Mosquito King let out a mournful cry. As its large body quickly retreated, large amounts of purple mist escaped from its body, but it quickly withdrew back into its body. This happened 3 times in a short period of time. Every time the purple mist appeared and withdrew, it would make the handprint between its eyebrows a bit more blurry. It was as if this purple Mosquito King was using this method to rapidly heal. At the same time, as it retreated, all the hair on its body stood up and law seemed to surround its body. A phenomenon that only occurred when Nirvana Shatra cultivators were about to use spells appeared. At this moment, the 2 white mosquito beasts that had been pushed away by Wang Lin charged in like crazy. The hundreds of blue mosquito beasts that gave off the aura of Nirvana cleanser cultivators desperately charged in. The thousands of red mosquito beasts circled like crazy. All the hairs on their bodies stood up as they stared at Wang Lin, and their hisses were earth-shattering. Even farther away, the ripple in the horizon distorted even more as a boundless, red ocean was rapidly closing in. Just at this instant, the blue light on Wang Lin's mosquito beast flashed and surrounded the area. However, the next instant, this blue light collapsed and was replaced with a golden light. It became the only golden light within this 5,000-kilometer area. The mosquito beast in the golden light was like the real king, and it let out a thunderous roar. This was the cry of the king, the roar of a mosquito king. The moment this golden light appeared, the red mosquito beasts trembled and unexpectedly stopped. Their eyes were filled with awe, but there was even more fear in them as they looked at the golden light. The hundreds of blue mosquito beasts also paused for a moment while charging. There was struggle in their eyes, but they didn't dare to approach. Even the 2 white mosquito beasts stopped and circled around them. Even their roars had weakened a lot. The retreating purple mosquito beast that was healing was startled, but soon its eyes revealed a monstrous, fierce gaze. It began to roar at the same time as Wang Lin's mosquito beast began to roar. All of this was changed greatly because Wang Lin's Mosquito King had released its aura. This was no longer a battle between a cultivator and the purple Mosquito King, but a battle between 2 Mosquito Kings. No mosquito beast could participate in the battle between 2 Mosquito Kings. They didn't dare to participate, and they couldn't participate. This was a vital part of Wang Lin's plan. Wang Lin's Mosquito King released the golden light, then it let out a roar and charged out like a bolt of golden lightning. It charged directly at the seriously injured purple Mosquito King. At the same time, Wang Lin's origin soul rapidly dissipated, turning back into the Star of Law, and fell on the mosquito beast's body. However, the moment it fell, Wang Lin executed the last part of this plan. The stop spell. His origin soul's right hand raised and pointed at the purple Mosquito King. The moment his finger pointed, the heavens and earth trembled. No origin energy came, but endless celestial spiritual energy rushed over. He was using the celestial spiritual energy of the celestial realm to achieve the peak power of the stop spell. When the finger fell, the purple Mosquito King's body trembled and all its movements were sealed. The moment its body was stopped, Wang Lin's mosquito beast closed in. Its golden mouth stabbed into the purple Mosquito King's body, then it began to inhale like crazy. The purple Mosquito King's body trembled and rapidly withered before it completely disappeared. Even its body turned into essence that was all absorbed by Wang Lin's Mosquito King. A roar filled with joy came from Wang Lin's Mosquito King. Along with this earth-shattering roar was a powerful pressure that surrounded the area. The birth of a new Mosquito King. The mind of Song Luhai, who was hiding inside the mountain, trembled. Everything that he saw had broadened his horizons. Song Luhai immediately recognized that the origin soul that appeared wasn't the spell of a Mosquito King, but a real origin soul. There is a cultivator's origin soul in that Mosquito King. Song Luohai's eyes lit up as he stared at the Mosquito King, and his heart skipped a beat. The pale golden light spread out from the mosquito beast's body and enveloped the area. A pressure surrounded the thousands of mosquito beasts, and they also witnessed the birth of a new king. Those red mosquito beasts were the first ones to surrender. Their eyes were filled with awe and they let out cries of approval. As for the hundreds of blue mosquito beasts, there were hints of struggle in their eyes, but as the pressure of the Mosquito King spread out, they also became submissive. The most difficult were the two white mosquito beasts. The two mosquito beasts stared at Wang Lin's Mosquito King. No matter how much Wang Lin's Mosquito King sent out its pressure, their gazes were still cold. Wang Lin's mosquito beast revealed a vicious gaze and let out a hiss. The gazes of all the mosquito beasts gathered on the two white mosquitoes and turned into ferocious gazes. The two white mosquito beasts let out miserable cries. The one that battled Wang Lin's mosquito trembled and its eyes revealed a demonic light. A destructive aura came from its body, and at that instant, its body collapsed. Blood mist spread across the sky, and as it collapsed, the other white mosquito beast also chose to die. It exploded into a mist of blood as well. They'd rather die than obey. These two white mosquito beasts were equal to Nirvana Shatterer cultivators, so their explosions immediately caused a powerful shockwave. The pupils of Song Luohai, who was hiding in the rocks, suddenly shrank. Now is the time. His greed had already drowned his common sense, especially after seeing that the newly born Mosquito King had the origin soul of a cultivator. In his view, this wasn't the origin soul of someone who had left their body, but a cultivator who had lost their body and unexpectedly fused with a Mosquito King using some unknown method. It was a very special existence. This was his first time encountering something like this. In his mind, this Mosquito King was a cultivator. Controlling a Mosquito King was too difficult, but controlling the origin soul of a cultivator that had fused with the Mosquito King shouldn't be too difficult. With that in mind, he could not give up this opportunity, but those hundreds of blue mosquito beasts, thousands of red mosquito beasts, and two white mosquito beasts made it so he wouldn't dare to come out, no matter how greedy he got. However, upon seeing the perfect opportunity created by the collapse of the two white mosquito beasts that blasted away most of the blue and red mosquitoes, his heart came alive. This origin soul isn't strong, only about early-stage Nirvana Shatterer. As long as I can control that origin soul within the Mosquito King, I can control the Mosquito King. Song Luohai clenched his teeth and popping sounds echoed inside his body. He suddenly shot out from the rock and moved like a bolt of lightning. He moved through the shockwave of the two collapsed white mosquito beasts and charged at Wang Lin's mosquito beast. His timing was very good. Although his greed had overridden his common sense, he still had thought this through. The moment he flew out, his hands formed a seal and his mid-stage Nirvana Shatterer power spread out like crazy. The illusion of a sun and moon appeared behind him. He started off with his strongest attack. He was from the Silent Soul sect, and they specialized in spells against the soul. They would often not harm the body, but directly target the soul. As his spell spread out, Song Luohai let out a roar. This roar contained a spell that targeted origin souls. Under this roar, origin souls would tremble and become dizzy for a moment. All of his actions and calculations were perfect, but the person he encountered was Wang Lin. Wang Lin had already noticed Song Luohai's presence but didn't pay any attention to him. Now that the two white mosquito beasts had collapsed and Song Luohai appeared, the star of Law Wang Lin was in began to flash. The moment the other party charged out, Wang Lin's mosquito beast immediately retreated. Song Luohai's body charged through the shockwave. Just as he was about to catch up, the star of law began to rotate and Wang Lin's origin soul took form. Wang Lin's eyes were filled with mockery as he waved his right hand. A gust of wind that turned into a storm suddenly appeared and shot toward Song Luhai. It collided with Song Luohai's spell and caused an earth-shattering rumble. Song Luohai's expression immediately turned pale, and he coughed out blood. His body trembled and he involuntarily stepped back few dozen feet. His face was filled with terror. That wind wasn't powerful, but it contained powerful Tao intent and law. It had disturbed his mind and almost caused his domain to collapse. However, the next scene caused him to lose his wits. He saw Wang Lin's origin soul point at him. At the same time, the Mosquito King immediately let out a hiss. In an instant, all the surrounding mosquito beasts charged in from all directions and sealed all paths of escape. He was trapped inside the mosquito herd. Thousands of red mosquito beasts and hundreds of blue mosquito beasts. This was also Wang Lin's first time seeing them display their power as a group. Thunderous rumbling came from the mosquito herd along with Song Luohai's frightened roar. I know I've done wrong. Fellow cultivator, have mercy, fellow cultivator, have mercy. I'm an elder of the Silent Soul sect. If fellow cultivator lets me go, I'll definitely repay you in the future. His voice was filled with anxiety and plea. Wang Lin's expression was calm. He sent out a command, causing the Mosquito King to let out a cry, and the mosquito herd's attack became even more crazy. At this moment, in the Rank 8 region, where the Everlasting Sect was located, there were 3 cultivation planets. The competition was being held on the second cultivation planet, and it had begun several days ago. The entire Everlasting Sect was extremely lively during this once every 1,000 years competition. There was a large amount of people densely packed together, and they occupied the entire planet. They had even invited some powerful cultivators of the sect to come and watch the competition, making it even more lively. Some rogue cultivators had also come to watch this grand competition. A huge platform that occupied a portion of the cultivation planet was the location of the competition. Around the platform, there were countless steps that went up into the sky. These were seats, and they were filled with cultivators. The Origin sect was in a small area in the northern edge. Compared to the other sects, who had hundreds of people, the Origin sect only had 10 people and looked very bleak. Lu Yanfei silently sat there. Only a few more days remained until the competition between the Rank 4 sects would finish, then it would be the Rank 5 sect's turn. The rest of the Origin sect members were all crestfallen as they sat there. Their eyes were filled with loss and sorrow, as if the fate of their Origin sect could not be changed. I'm feeling unwell and will go back first, Lu Yanfei said as she stood up to go back to the house the main sect had provided, even though that place was even more remote and bleak. A frivolous voice came from not far away. Is that the beauty Lu, who is secretly considered the #1 cultivation furnace of the Rank 5 region? She is indeed very good. It was worth spending so many origin crystals to make you a member of my celestial music sect after your origin sect is disbanded. Shortly after, a middle-aged man wearing blue walked out with a warm smile. When he appeared, some people recognized him, and their expressions immediately changed and they quickly left. This made the place the Origin sect was located even more desolate and eye-catching. Being stared at made the members of the Origin sect turn pale and remain silent. Xu Yun bit her lower lip so hard that it almost bled. This middle-aged man wasn't just by himself but had 2 white-haired elders following him. Their gazes were like lightning, and anyone who met their gazes would feel their mind tremble. Rank 6 Region Celestial Music Sect. From this person's appearance, he should be the sect's head disciple, Lu Yingjie. The Celestial Music Sect has ranked first several times among the Rank 6 sects and has garnered a lot of attention from the main sect. Rumor has it that one of the 3 people being chosen to be sent out for the competition between the Rank 8 sects will be from the Celestial Music Sect. In particular, this Lu Yingjie cultivates an extremely vicious cultivation method and often needs a lot of cultivation furnaces. Even if they are powerful, none seem to be able to escape. There are simply too many rumors about this Lu Yingjie. I heard that he has some blood relation with Elder Lu of the Everlasting Sect. Elder Lu is at the peak of the Nirvana Shatra stage, so, with Elder Lu behind him, It is no wonder this Lu Yingjie dares to be so overbearing. Lu Yanfei's body trembled and her eyes revealed a cold gaze as she turned to look at the man in blue. This man was rather handsome and gave off a manly aura. The Origin sect hasn't disbanded and won't disband, Lu Yanfei said calmly before turning around to leave. Lu Yingjie smiled and softly said, "Fellow cultivator Lu, don't blame me. I only heard about the cultivation furnace from others and am merely teasing. However, I come with good intentions. If the Origin sect does disband, Lady Lu will have a good place to go. Forget about the Origin sect disbanding. Even if it disbands, my Purple Dao sect will accept them all." These cold words came from another direction as a man in purple gradually walked over. He coldly looked at Lu Yingjie before looking at Lu Yanfei and politely clasping his hands. "Greetings, fellow cultivator Lu." Lu Yanfei was startled. Fellow cultivator Lu doesn't need to think about it too much. Although brother Liu and I only met once, that night of Dao debate was something I'll never forgot. If he returns, not only will the Origin sect not disband, it is even possible it will become the #1 branch sect. Lu Yunsung revealed a look of reminiscence and melancholy. So fellow cultivator Lu also fancies the Origin sect and wants to compete with me. I just don't know who this brother Liu you speak of is. Could it be me? Lu Yingjie faintly smiled. It was impossible to tell if he was happy or angry, even his words were as light as the clouds. Lu Yunsung frowned and didn't hold back at all as he roared, "Shut up! Who do you think you are to mention brother Liu? If he was here, he could kill you as easily as squishing an ant." Lu Yingjie's expression was gloomy as he stared at Lu Yunsung. He still remembered that 1,000 years ago, it was this person who became the first rank 5 sect that dared to challenge the #1 sect of the rank 6 region, the Celestial Music sect. Although their challenge failed in the end, it was a disgrace to the Celestial Music sect. This person had stepped on the Celestial Music sect to make the Purple Dao sect famous and allowed the name, Lu Yunsung, to spread across the cloud sea. Lu Yunsung was even more menacing in this grand competition and had become much more powerful than 1,000 years ago. It was likely that he would challenge the Celestial Music sect again. If they were challenged by a rank 5 sect twice, the Celestial Music sect would lose face. If they showed a bit of weakness, even if they won, they would still be secretly ridiculed. Lu Yunsung, everyone can talk. I just don't know how this person named Liu will kill me like an ant. Lu Yingjie's expression gradually calmed down. He was a gloomy person, but he didn't like to show it. It only took a few seconds for him to suppress the anger that had risen up. There was a flash of coldness in Lu Yunsung's eyes. He could naturally see through Lu Yingjie's personality, but the more he saw, the more he disliked him. "If he comes, you will find out." Lu Yunsung's voice was cold. Aside from the competition, the biggest reason he had come to the Everlasting Sect was to see Wang Lin again. Therefore, he paid a lot of attention to the Origin Sect. However, just as Lu Yunsung spoke, a strange voice that seemed to come from between someone's teeth surrounded the area. "I'm also looking forward to this person named Liu you speak of, Lu Yunsung." The moment this voice appeared, Lu Yunsung's expression changed. Not only him, but the expressions of everyone in the Origin sect, including Lu Yanfei, changed. This voice sounded weak, but the moment it appeared, it affected everyone's Origin souls and caused them to fluctuate violently. If one's cultivation level wasn't high enough, their face would turn pale and their Origin soul would be injured in this confusion. Only Lu Yingjie remained normal, but there was a look of surprise in his eyes. He turned around and respectfully clasped his hand. "Greetings, Senior Zhao." The space behind Lu Yingjie twisted and ripples echoed as a person gradually walked out. This person was a middle-aged man, and his most notable features were his hook-like nose, thin lips, and gloomy eyes. These made him look very vicious. Lu Yunsung's expression changed, and after a long time, he said, "Greetings, Rank 7 Mountain-Seeking Sect Senior Zhao." Lu Yunsung's words pointed out this person's identity as a warning to Lu Yanfei and the others. Lu Yanfei's face revealed a moment of bitterness as she and the other Origin sect cultivators respectfully greeted this person. This person's appearance immediately made the surroundings cold. Some of the onlookers immediately backed up, and some even straight up left. This was originally about the Origin sect, but it had quickly changed to be a matter between the Purple Dao sect, the Celestial Music sect, and the Mountain-Seeking sect. The focus of their confrontation seemed to be the mysterious person named Liu that Lu Yunsung had brought up. The middle-aged man named Zhao walked next to Lu Yingjie and nodded slightly. Lu Yingjie became even more respectful. Since this man has said this person can kill you like squeezing an ant, then you should accept this challenge. I also want to see if this mysterious person named Liu is real or fake, the middle-aged man slowly said, and his voice was as feminine as always. Lu Yingjie revealed a smile and nodded. Since that is the case, then I really want to see how powerful this mysterious person named Liu is. However, if this person doesn't show up or isn't as strong as fellow Lu says, then what should we do? Senior Zhao, please give us guidance. The middle-aged man named Zhao looked at Lu Yunsung and gloomily said, if that is the case, then I'll naturally be the witness. This is no small matter, how can such empty words be said? Lu Yunsung's expression remained gloomy and he didn't speak for a long time. Although the Mountain-Seeking sect wasn't the strongest among the rank 7 sects, Senior Zhao was an external elder and had a good relationship with the Silent Soul sect. If he came forward, he could make a lot of noise about this matter. Lu Yanfei bit her lower lip and saw that Lu Yunsung was in an embarrassing situation. A moment later, she softly said, this matter has nothing to do with fellow cultivator Lu. This is a matter of my Origin sect. Before Lu Yanfei could finish speaking, the middle-aged man named Zhao's eyes turned cold and he stared at Lu Yanfei. This gaze was like a pair of swords that flew out and landed in Lu Yanfei's eyes. Lu Yanfei only felt her body tremble, and a roar echoed in her Origin soul. She couldn't help but retreat several dozen feet. Her face turned pale and blood came out from her mouth. Her entire body became weak. A little girl like you isn't qualified to speak here. The surroundings immediately quieted down. The people of the Origin sect were all angry, but none of them dared to say a word. They could only swallow this humiliation and let the bitterness fill their bodies. After pondering for a long time, Lu Yunsung looked at Zhao Long and said, if Brother Liu doesn't come or can't kill Lu Yingjie like crushing an ant, then I'll naturally give Senior Zhao an explanation. Zhao Long revealed a gloomy smile and let out a harsh laugh as he turned to leave. Beside him, Lu Yingjie directed an apologetic gaze at Lu Yanfei but didn't even look at Lu Yunsung as he turned to leave with Zhao Long. The place they were in was merely a drop in the bucket compared to the platform the competition was held on. At this moment, a ray of white light closed in on the various platforms the competition was being held at. This white light crossed the sky and created a series of thunderous rumbles. Before it got close, it had already attracted the attention of the surrounding cultivators. The aura of a Nirvana Shatterer cultivator spread out from the white light. Several shadows flew out from the everlasting sect to greet it. After the white light closed in, it slowed down. This allowed all the cultivators who looked over to see that it was a woman inside. They also saw the blue hair that belonged only to one person in the Cloud Sea. Li Qianmai. Rank 9 Heaven-Breaking Sect. An uproar suddenly occurred as the nearly 100,000 cultivators here all recognized the identity of the blue-haired woman. It turns out to be the Heaven-Breaking Sect's Li Qianmai. I didn't think the Everlasting Sect's competition would attract her to attend. Rumors say that she was battling the Beast Tide at the Demon Sect. It is unexpected for her to leave and come here. Rumor has it that during the battle against the Beast Tide, no cultivator involved is allowed to leave. How did Li Qianmai obtain the Demon Sect's permission to leave? The sounds of discussion spread across the platform with the appearance of Li Qianmai. Not even the battle of the rank for sects could attract anyone's attention anymore. Lu Yingjie naturally also saw Li Qianmai high up in the sky, and his eyes lit up. He knew Li Qianmai. She once asked him 3 questions. Even Zhao Long beside Lu Yingjie became serious as he looked up. He respected Li Qianmai, who came from the rank 9 Heaven-Breaking Sect. Whether it was her cultivation level or sect, they were both things he couldn't compare to. The person in charge of the competition today was an old man named Fong Hai. There were 6 other Everlasting Sect elders with him. After sensing Li Qianmai, he immediately flew out with the elders along with a few dozen disciples. After them, the 100 people responsible for the event also flew up. This large group of people greeted Li Qianmei's arrival. It is our everlasting sect's great honor for fellow cultivator Lu to come. My name is Fong Hai. Fong Hai smiled, and he was very enthusiastic as he clasped his hands. The 6 elders behind him also smiled and clasped their hands in respect. The disciples all revealed respectful expressions. They also looked at Li Qianmei with eyes filled with admiration and awe. Aside from these people, more than 10 rays of light were flying over from the far side of the planet. This was another core group of the everlasting sect, showing how much they valued Li Qianmei. I believe fellow cultivator Li just came from the beast tide. Please come with me to a place the everlasting sect has prepared for you to rest. I presume the sect master had also learned of your arrival. It is great honor for us that fellow cultivator was willing to come. Fong Hai clasped his hands as his laughter echoed. Although Li Qianmei had become the focus of everyone, she was still calm. She didn't rashly spread out her divine sense to search herself, but looked at everyone before her gaze fell on Fong Hai. She softly said, "Rest isn't urgent." Fellow cultivator Fong, did the rank 5 Origin sect come to this competition? Origin sect? Fong Hai was startled. A disciple immediately flew over and spoke into his ear. This Origin sect has indeed come. After Fong Hai heard this, he smiled, but doubts appeared in his heart. Could the small Origin sect have some relationship with Li Qianmei? Li Qianmei suppressed her emotions before asking, "Where are they?" Fong Hai's doubt became even stronger, but he didn't show any of it. He looked at the disciple behind him that had spoken to him earlier. He was a youth, and he quickly said, "In the northern platform, on the edge." When his words got to this point, Li Qianmei's divine sense spread out and enveloped the entire northern area. She immediately found the people of the Origin sect. Compared to the entire platform, that place was truly insignificant. However, the moment Li Qianmei found the Origin sect, she flew over like lightning. This video will end here.